kitty. I know you like to get frisky. And you want a all-you-can-eat buffet, a Purina, all-you-can-eat buffet of turkey gravy. And I just scratch you, baby. Ooh, you just so frisky. Look at that. Look at that kitty. Look at that kitty. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, yes, you burr. Yes, you. Ooh, look at. There you go. Oh, got me. You see. Oh, he's bitey. You're bitey. You're. Wow. Oh, wow. Look at that tail. Look at that tail going. Look at that tail going. Oh, yes, you burr. Oh, yeah. Look at them choppers. You just a chopping. Just a chopping. You see, oh, look at that kitty.
All right. Well, mime's not the only thing that you want to study as an actor. You also want to study speech. So if you have a problem with speech, go to a speech therapist. They can help. I think you should get familiar with IPA. Learn the pronunciations of words. You can look it up on Google. Google will teach you how to say any word. Learn pronunciation. Be a speech master. For sure. Now, not all your characters will speak, but many of them will. Then you want to start studying accents. But it's not everything. We learned that at the actor studio. Accents are not everything. Look at Harvey Keitel on the piano. Good movie, but the accent wasn't what we focused on. It was the humanity. And study humanity, study history, study theater history. Get on it now. Hey, I don't care if you're a movie star. Study theater history. That was what Strasberg taught first at the actor studio, Lee Strasberg. The last surviving descendant of method acting is Matt Dillon, because Matt, as a famous actor, Matt Dillon worked with Strasberg. Other than that, everybody worked with his disciples. Like, everybody worked with Strasberg. Everyone from Marlon Brando, Robert De Niro, all of them at least heard of him, okay? At least read about him. He's going to focus on sense memory and emotional recall and a bunch of other stuff. But he's going to focus on sense memory. Focus on sense memory for a little bit. Try to recall the taste of a lime or a lemon. Taste it. Wait a moment. Try to retaste it. That's using your imagination. You want to use your imagination like a muscle. Write stuff. Learn to write. Be a writer. Come up with ideas and stories. Many actors write their own scripts. Actors have written some of the best movies known to mankind. Orson Welles was an actor first. He was a radio actor first. You got to know all this stuff. I'll give you an example. Give me a second. Now I'll give you an example of the actors a long time ago in Hollywood. Now this is time of, like, let's say Clint Eastwood, okay, when Clint Eastwood was young. Clint Eastwood's a pretty old guy. He's a director now, but he was a great actor. Still pretty dang good actor, okay? He could do it. He could be on set. He could stand it on cue, or what do they say, on the mark. He could get on the mark. He could be on cue, and he could do it, okay? I gotta go I'll talk about it in a minute. All right, I was talking about Clint Eastwood. He's a good example. He's not Laurence Olivier, but he's good. He was a Western actor. He's won an Oscar for as a director, and he's a pretty dang good actor. Okay, I'm not saying he's the best, but he's going to be the example for right now. So I'm going to talk about some stuff. Now, Clint Eastwood, when he was younger, he was employed by the studio, Hollywood studios. So what they would have the actors do when they weren't working, when they were in the dry time, they would go horseback riding. They'd take fencing lessons. They'd learn how to shoot a gun. I know that's kind of stupid, but they had to do it for Westerns. I'm not real big with that, but learn it. You got to learn your weaponry to a certain extent. You'll learn it in armory. You'll learn it also in well, you probably don't have to know a lot about armory, but you have to know a little bit about armor. You'll learn it in stage combat. You got to take stage combat. You got to learn how to handle a sword. That's what got me in this whole thing. My mom came. I was kind of a kid. I was kind of an indoor kid. I like to watch a lot of TV and movies and pretend like I was Morrissey dancing in front of the mirror and lip sync things. I was doing all that before I even got on stage. So my mom said, "Well, hey Cole, W.E. Scott Theater's got a stage combat class." And I was like, "What's that?" And she's like, "That's where you go and you learn how to handle a sword." I said, "Sign me up." And I was on stage doing stage combat. Really what I learned is how to throw my voice and all this other stuff. But we did take stage combat. Really what she did is she signed me up for acting class, and I thought it was stage combat. I took stage combat later. I even took stage combat at the Actor Studio Drama School. Really good team came in and taught us. Stage combat's important. So you want to learn. You don't have to be a weapon expert. You have to go around. You don't have to go and buy weapons and stuff. But you want to be. You want to study it because your character might come across it. And you don't want to lie like William Dafoe did when he told everyone that he could ride a motorcycle in this one movie that he first got. And then William Dafoe got on set and got on the motorcycle and fell off of it, right? He could have learned that motorcycle thing in one day. And then he fell off his motorcycle and everybody was liable. William Dafoe is one of our best actors. So learn things. Learn how to be a handyman. You can learn anything for acting. Even coding, learn computer coding, or learn about it a little bit. Learn everything that you can. As a director, you'll have to know everything. If you direct, you have to know everything. Everything. I know it's stupid. But you go up to a director and you ask them, do you have to know everything? They'll say, yes, you have to know everything. So you have to figure it out. You can learn a lot on YouTube. The most important thing, I think, in acting is learn body awareness and learn about speech. Focus on the things and study Shakespeare, and also learn tongue twisters like to sit in solemn silence on a dull dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. That's Gilbert and Sullivan. Learn Shakespeare, Hamlet and all kinds of stuff. Learn all that stuff. It's not absolutely consequential. It's not a must, but at least look at Shakespeare, pick it up and read it and pronounce it. Try to understand it. It took me years before I could really read Shakespeare. Even today, I still have to study it. But I studied them all. I studied Hamlet. I studied Midsummer Night's Dream. I've been in Midsummer Night's Dream twice. All kinds of stuff. And the most important, get on the stage and do it. Remember, the reason why I talk about Clint Eastwood is because he got to do these things. The Hollywood, they covered the cost, so he'd go horseback riding, all that stuff. You can't do all that on your own. But just at least watch it and, I don't know, do a mime about it. You can mime right there in your living room. Pretend like you're riding a horse in your living room, okay? If you have to. You can pretend all of it. Pretend like you're holding a sword. If you watch a show about swordsmen or whatever, pretend like these things. The most important thing is right over there. It's called Belzoni Catfish. Now, as an actor too, starting off, you're going to have to work. A lot of them become waiters. So learn the food industry. Learn how to cook. You want to learn how to cook at an early age. You want to learn how to cook as a person so you can cook for other people. You want to be a servant. You want to learn how to be a servant. And most importantly, you don't want to try to do all of this at once. Take it day by day. Your work is going to be most important, okay? They always say never quit your day job. Don't be stupid. Keep your day job. Wait, be patient. God will find a time to put you up there on the stage. If you're going to do community theater or do Broadway, or if you're going to do a small independent film, which may be the exciting thing you ever do in your entire life, or you do a big WB feature or work for Castle Rock or write your own script. Whatever it is, whatever this pathway that you decide is your decision. But at least read some Shakespeare. And then try to write some poetry. And then if you want to write a novel, take some time off, write a novel. Or if you want to chip at it and do like 30 minutes a night. Or if you want to write a script, do a page a day or couple pages a day or something. That script will be ready by the end of the year. Then you have something you can sell. Like, well, maybe you didn't like my performance. Here's my script. We're like, oh, okay. Yeah, I heard about Matt Damon. Matt made it through writing scripts. Okay. You see? So you have all these options. Pick them and choose them and go with it. Take it one day at a time. Take it slow. When you go to class, tell them you're a beginner. You're learning. Blah, blah, blah. Right? I'm a beginner. I'm learning. And I'm going to get through this kind of thing. We're always that person, whether you like it or not. If you got a question, go to your director. Your director can get it out of you. Some of the best freaking actors in the world are because they've worked with some of the best directors. De Niro's great because of Scorsese. But also he's great because he hung out with Strasberg and he hung out with Keitel and he hung out with some great people. Find great people and then hang out with them. If you have a question about anything, message me. I'm part of many acting circles. It goes all the way from New York, California, Texas, even Florida. So, best wishes. Now I gotta go pick up some catfish. They have like a World Catfish Festival right here, Belzoni, Mississippi. It's Belzoni, Mississippi. He said the major difference between the Mississippi catfish, because it's mostly catfish, and Louisiana is that Louisiana's going to put more Cajun twist, no more country. It's World Catfish Festival right here. Yeah, World Catfish. These are all drawings, all paintings. 44th annual right here. See the catfish right here. 41st annual World Catfish Festival. Pretty cool. Got a little photo right here. Cool. Like maybe they established 1994. Oh yeah, they got Fort Worth Fest right here. Pretty cool setup. Old Reed's grocery store. Right, they're all away from the Mississippi Delta. And the last little trick of the trade about acting is, you know, after you get through all the psychological and emotional torture, you finally want to pray to God and you want to ask him to help you. And he'll open up a path for you. You'll do it. You'll do it. There'll be a time. There are evangelical shows, all kinds of stuff nowadays. We have a whole network called PureFlix, and God can open that up to you as well. But it's going to be a different thing. You know, a Christian actor, which I like to think all of us are. It's gonna be difficult. But I'm brave enough to ask the Lord to help me with it. All right, go drop off some catfish. Maybe wondering why I mentioned Clint Eastwood is because the old Hollywood studio system had the actors out there and they were being trained, and they would go to, you know, stage combat class and horseback riding class, and they go to ballet class, and they had them doing these things. Now they kind of leave it up to the actor. So the Hollywood studio does give them money, but this was like a program that they were part of. You know, they housed them, they took care of them, and then when their time came, they put them in that movie. Times have changed a little bit because the actor's more independent. They can go wander off to Europe and all kinds of stuff, you know, or wander off wherever they want. Small town America, you know, they do that sometimes. So they're not completely reliant on the Hollywood system or the Hollywood studio system like they used to be back in the day, because they don't have YouTube and they don't have ways to broadcast themselves. Now, because of technology, they can send them out there and we can create our own shows and do whatever we want. You don't have to go to Hollywood, but I mean, you know, it's a really rough town. A lot of them are there. I think when I was there were about 5,000 to 10,000 working actors. Who knows how many now because of web series. maybe 20,000 working actors now, I don't know. But they have a certain standard. And if you don't like that standard, then go elsewhere. Do something else. Start a vlog. Start your own show. Find a theater. Start digital video of your shows. Man, that's what I've been wanting to find. Some actor that would go out, buy his own theater, and then, video his plays, and that'd just be so great. There's so much that we can do now. We reinvented the wheel. We really have. We've reinvented it. So you are lucky. You are fortunate to be an actor in today's society today, and a filmmaker if you want to try filmmaking too, or try creating your own film. You are very fortunate and lucky. Back then, if you couldn't get a hold of that 35mm, that Super 8, you'd have to get it developed. You know what Richard Linklater did when he did, dang title, it's impossible to learn to plow by reading books. What he did when he did that, okay, is he would mail out the film to be developed and to be sent back to him. He shows it in the movie. He goes to a postal office and he drops something in the mail. That's what he would do. He'd drop the film in the mail and then they'd get developed to get back to him. You don't realize this guy hanging on a cliff throughout his life in his early stages of being a filmmaker. But that's what he wanted, so he didn't give up on it. Now he's one of the best. Got it? Don't give up on it and you'll be the best. Saying about YouTube was back then in Clint Eastwood's time, yeah, that guy's a really nice guy right there. They didn't have something like YouTube, and they have YouTube now. So if Clint Eastwood, had YouTube, he probably would have used it, So as an actor, go out there and be independent, find something that you like. You may not need to, though. You might be backed by WB or 20th Century Fox or Touchstone Pictures or Castle Rock or UA or whatever the ones that are still working today. Columbia used to be, but WB is still around. Walt Disney might have you as an actor, but you don't know, so like, you might do really well on YouTube. I'm just saying, any actor out there wants to be strong enough, and I'm going to release all my movies on YouTube. That's my plan as a filmmaker. I'm going to release them all on YouTube, and let them ride, let it ride. But Lynn Driver's still coming down slow. We got, she's injured right now, so we're going to have to put it on hiatus. But we got some of Lynn Driver. But anyway, so I'll still be working on the script at least, One thing I do want to say about vlogging is it's a new technology and we're able to do it because, well, we have the technology to do it. So when you get on the vlog game, you're getting on a new technology. It's a massive amount of storage done by a mega company known as Google. And, you have all these different reasons on why. A lot of it's informational, some of it's entertaining, but you're part of a new technology, so it is exciting. It's very exciting. The new is always exciting. And when you're starting off doing it, and you're in there cutting your shows, and you finished up your run for the night, whatever it is that you're doing, it's heaven. It's a lot like heaven, It's just, it's kind of this independent feel, and you're figuring it out, because of technology. You know, you're not waiting for development. It develops instantaneous. You don't have to mail anything off for development. You don't have to mail off the 35 millimeter. You don't have to. You just hit a button and it's good to go. You can do all the color coding you want at home. Get yourself a little Apple Macintosh. Tear it up, man. Get all kinds of crazy. It just depends on what you want, you know. Now I'm going to use Adam the Woo as an example again. He doesn't like to do a lot of inserts. He does cutaways, but he doesn't do a lot of inserts. So he tries to bring the experience of what is at hand. So like right here and now is what he's offering. Dang entertaining. I watched that Tampa Bay game today with Tampa Jay and Exploring Ryan and who are all the people. Yeah, Cowboy Max ripping it up. Cowboy Max yelling. All those are cast of characters. Just Orson Welles' little thing, you know. Just like Orson Welles would have done or something, you know. Says Johnston. I guess maybe like Daniel Johnston. But he's ripped it up, you know. They're all having fun, smiling, entertaining. And they're over there talking about the media. Yet they're like the media because they're covering the game too. You get to watch the game. It's a way to watch the game if you want to watch a Tampa Ray game. Just put it on Adam the Woo. He'll be doing Tampa Ray. He's already in the season. Tampa Ray season. If you want to see country stuff and learn about acting or whatever, talk about movies and Richard Linklater or whatever, you got Cole Spivey. I got a few. I got some, how you doing, Julie Smith? There's a few people that watch. Who else besides Eva? Eva was another one. Julie Smith, some of my fans. People have even funded some of the stuff. Thank you so much. There goes Domino's. I drop some food at your door stuff, you know? Learn about restaurants and people cutting their thumbs. You're wrong. I'm a big Tampa Ray fan. I was talking to Linda about Florida today. Big move. She says, well, you know, we may not be able to have enough to make that kind of move. I like to move around. I've lived in a few other states. I lived in California. I lived in Long Beach. I lived in North Atlantic, Long Beach, like right off North Atlantic by that high school. Paradise Gardens was the name of my apartment. I lived there for a while. That's when I worked for Jim Carrey for a little bit. And Dustin Hoffman and Jake Gyllenhaal and Touchstone and Castle Rock. And it wasn't major, but I did that for a while. And then I lived in New York for a while and hung out at the Actor Studio. Hung out with James Lipton, New School. I did that for a while in New York. And I lived in Maine for a while where I had to save up money to get out of that cold weather. But Florida, you know, I told Linda, I said, you know, they've got those Airstream houses. Scott on Tape, he's a big vlogger. He went out there and lived in one of those Airstream houses. It's like a trailer kind of thing. And I told her, I said, you know, we could try and work something out. They got Walt Disney World. They got all kinds of stuff. I think they got SeaWorld. They got a SeaWorld here too. Not hey, Texas is great. It's great for vlogging. I told her, I said, you know, so you don't have to look at my chin so much. I know I've been looking at that because I keep it down here for safety. But if I get on like the highway or whatever, it's a little bit better. Sorry, I need to lose about 30 pounds. I told her, I said, you know, because her grandma was out there, you know, Florida. But, you know, I said, they got hurricanes, you know, but they got tornadoes everywhere, you know, nowadays. I said, they got hurricanes, you know, so we got to get plenty of water. But, it would be an adventure. I said, you know, people go out to Florida to retire. And you know, there's that side of me that knows, you know, get out there for a year and then you're wanting to leave, like Scott on Tape. Scott on Tape was like, get me out of here. Who knows where Scott's going? But Scott lived there for about a year and talked about it, and then he moved away. He lived in like a trailer park establishment with retirees and made fun of everybody and had a lot of fun and did a lot of cool vlogs, and we got to see some of that, you know. So Florida is definitely a vlog spot. Texas is a pretty good vlog spot. They got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre stuff. And they got Austin, Linklater, all kinds of stuff. I always wanted to do a Slacker filming location. We almost did it, but Linda started crying because I got some money from Biden. Not personally. It wasn't like Biden put money in my account, but he gave us that check a long time ago, a couple years ago. That economic check, stimulus check. We were going to use a stimulus check to go out to Austin and vlog the Slacker location. But she started crying, so we did the Dallas location instead, and we did upstream color. We did some filming locations. I had to do research and buy upstream color, and I did a Shane Carruth film. So we did that. It's established. It's on a channel. You can watch it. We did upstream color filming location. But I did that with the stimulus check, and you know, we had a little bit of time to kill and stuff. I really wanted to go out to Austin. Now, I'm gonna miss Texas. It doesn't matter where I go. I'm gonna miss it. I like barbecue and steak and potatoes and deer. People talk like this, and Texas Rangers and the Dallas Cowboys. Woo! You know, everybody knows, you know, but okay. I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things. I was like, let's give it a year. We can get back to Texas. We find a way to get back. Go out there for a year and see if we can bring up the subscribers. But, you know, I'm trying to do a thing where, you know, every time I do a stop, I ask for a subscriber. That kid was a little young, and he looked like it was his first day working or something, or first week working or something. So I just left it alone on that one. But if it feels right, then I'll ask for a subscriber. It's coming along slow. But, I don't know. Maybe we could run into Adam, and I'd jump on the show. Hey, Charlie Chaplin style. Charlie Chaplin literally walked on the set of a great director. They're like, what is this guy? But, I don't know. You know, we go to Walt Disney. Now, it costs like $100 a day to get into Walt Disney, so it wouldn't just be a Walt Disney vlog. But they got the Florida... there's a movie called the Florida Project, made by another peer of mine from the new school, Sean Baker, and that's a set, you know, that's something that you're filming location. But, you know, her grandma's out there. We might, I've talked about it. Tampa Ray, you know, the Tampa Rays are out there, you know, there's the field. We might could find a way to make a little bit of money. There's probably some stuff out there. I don't know what I could sell. Could find something online or something. Though something comes up financially, that could be a spot that we hit for a year, you know, and hang out there for a while. I don't think I'm not gonna rush into Hollywood. Hollywood's definitely an idea. I've never lived on Avenue of Stars. I never lived in Hollywood. I've lived in Long Beach, California. But if I go back, I always wanted to live in Hollywood, at least maybe a year or something, but I don't want to try that without a little bit of money. You know, I'm not going to be stupid. That place is very expensive. Real estate's very high. We would want a little bit of money for that. But that can be good too, because there's a lot of good actors out there, small and big. My friend James is out there acting. There's a lot going on in Hollywood. So that's also on the radar. I don't know about Seattle. It's cold. I don't really like living in the cold environment for very, very long. I do like going up there. I like skiing. But I lived in Maine for a while, learned my lesson. Cold is hard. You got a snow shovel, blah, blah, blah. You know? But, yeah, California maybe. And then, of course, Florida for sure. But right now, we're just going to, you know, hunker down and drop food at your doorstep.
We're headed over to Buffalo Wild Wings, and it looks like they got a bunch of wings, like 10 wings traditional, then 15 traditional wings, a bunch of like blue ranch sauce and all kinds of fun stuff. Then they got mozzarella sticks and french fries. So it's pretty expensive orders, like 60, maybe 60, 70 plus or something. They got a few sides and stuff. I think some wedges, potato wedges. So we're gonna head over that one.